Hello everybody, welcome back to Poke Primer. I apologize that this Charizard video is a little bit off. Normally I would be talking to you about one Charizard list or another, but it has been a crazy weekend as I film this because it is the weekend of Worlds, and as I'm recording it, no Charizard list has made it into the finals, into the top 8. So normally what I would do is I would give you the idea of what the best Charizard list is to play, but since none of them made it into top 8, Charizard looks like it's hurting a little bit right now. But before you turn off that video, do not turn off the video just yet. I'm going to show you Tord's list from today. Even though Tord did not make top 8, Tord had a very fancy list that does really well into a bunch of cards in the format. So, no Guardian top 8, no Charizard in top 8, a little bit of weird stuff in World's top 8. But the list I am providing you today will be perfectly good to bring to your locals and will have cards for almost every single matchup. So, without further ado, let's get into the Poke Primer. For Tord's list, we play something a little bit different, but a lot of Pokemon are going to look the same. We're going to have a 2-1-2 line for the Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard EX. You'll be doing 2 Pidgey, 1 Pidgeotto, and 2 Pidgeot. 1 Rellor and 1 Rabsca line to help protect your bench and do a little bit more there. 1 70 HP Bidoof and 1 Babarrel. 1 Fezandipiti EX, 1 Lumineon V, 1 Radiant Charizard, 1 Cleffa, and 1 Scovit. So for the trainers, we're going to be doing something that looks very much similar with a couple more additions. It'll be 4 Arvins, 2 Boss's Orders, 2 Ionos, 1 Professor Turo's Scenario, 1 Thornton, 4 Rare Candy, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Buddy Buddy Poffin, 2 Counter Catcher, 2 Super Rod, 1 Palpad, 1 Unfair Stamp, 1 Canceling Cologne, 1 Hisuian Heavy Ball, 1 Forest Sealstone, 1 TM Evolution, 1 Defiance Band, 1 Collapse Stadium, 1 Temple of Sinnoh, 5 Fire Energy, and 1 Double Turbo Energy. Note this list is a little bit kind of different from normal, so this deck is playing around a couple of different things. So the 2-1-2 lines for Charmander to Charizard, as well as Pidgey and Pidgeot, are to make it so that you don't get as punished by TM de-evolution, but also can take full advantage of TM evolution. You have a lot of stage 1s in this list, so stuff such as Rabsca protecting your backline, as well as, making sure you hit your Babarrels. At any point, you want to be able to attach that TM evolution and evolve up super easily. This list is a little bit slow, and it is the anti-aggro list of the format. Pidgeot is very, very consistent, but it needs some time. Paired up with Charizard EX, it's almost the ultimate anti-aggro list in the format. We play stuff such as Thornton, which allows you to replace one basic with another basic. So for example, if you need to get rid of your Lumineon that's on the bench, or, maybe another 1 or 2 prizer like Fezandipiti that might get knocked out, what you could do is you can use Thornton to replace that with something, something like a Pidgey or something like a Charmander. Because you're running the 2-1-2 lines, it's very consistent at making sure you swap out those one-time use pieces or those engines that might be vulnerable to something else to something more akin to a 1 prizer. That's because stuff like Dusclops now exists in the format and Dusknoir, so you're playing something that's very, very defensive. Rabsca also prevents all damage from effects of attacks from your opponent's Pokemon done to your benched Pokemon, and it also prevents the effects as well. So this helps you get around stuff like Regidrago, which uses the Dragapult EX's attacks. So, just a heads up, this is still really good. It also helps you dodge Kyuriums, which are huge now in the Regidrago EX deck now that Shrouded Fable's out. We can also talk about Canceling Cologne. Canceling Cologne is there specifically for Quad Thorns. You want to be able to get yourself out of that situation where Quad Thorns shutting down your abilities may stop a Charizard from getting those fire energies from your deck. But it also, we have Temple of Sinnoh, which helps you get around Mist Energy as well. So overall, I think this deck is very much more controlling and more defensive, like other Tord lists, where you're kind of just trying to get Pidgeot out, draw a bunch of cards, keep yourself going, and keep yourself in the game more than you normally would. So now let's get to the games. Okay, unfortunately, I think we want to go second. Luminion's real rough for us to start with. And it also looks like we're playing against the Baxcalibur Chiempo. But that's okay, like we can still get around it. A lot of this stuff is just trying to get our bench set up and getting ourselves into a position that we can constantly find answers to everything that's going on. We do want to probably get Rabska out, because Rabska will protect against, well, it's rough, right? Because Chien-Pao is very engine-based, I guess is the phrase I'm looking for. We'll kind of see where this goes from here. Buddy Buddy Poffin coming from my opponent. Probably getting that, probably getting the Frigibax set up to get the Baxcalibur out early. But again, Chien-Pao has seen so many iterations. You know, the deck is still solid. The deck's still one of my favorites to play. But there's so many different ways to go forward with it. Attach onto the active. And so for our turn, we have a couple different options, right? So we did draw into the Pidgey, which kind of helps us out a bunch here. We're also going to take early advantage of our Ultra Ball. We do not need canceling Cologne in this matchup, and we probably do not need the Defiance Band. We probably want to get something like... So if we get the early Scovit, what that allows us to do is to make sure we don't draw these cards, but I don't think that really matters for us. I think what we want to do is we want to go for something like a Cleffa. Do we have the ability to retreat? We don't have an energy in our hand. We probably want to make sure that we are set up with a Charmander no matter what. We have no Charmeleon, so that's just a heads up. So we need to use a Rare Candy to go from that point. So what we'll do is we'll play a Charmander, and then I'm going to just Iono real quick, put everything on the bottom. You know, that Scovit point didn't make any sense because we're going to get there anyway. Buddy Buddy Poffin comes in. That's fine. We'll get ourselves a... let's get ourselves a Rellor and get ourselves a Cleffa just in case, right? Not a big deal. I was hoping that we could get ourselves a TM evolution, but that's fine. We're going to attach here and we're going to retreat, and then we'll play the Cleffa, and then I'm going to manually play the Temple of Sinnoh so that we can dump our hand and draw cards with Grasping Draw. So our goal is to try to fill stuff up ASAP. So my opponent has Hisuian Heavy Balls to get their Greninja out, which is super important for them in this matchup, just to make sure that everything kind of is smooth sailing. We kind of want Babarrel here too, but like the problem is that getting Babarrel as a draw engine might be a problem for us. See, the thing is that if they get a quick attachment onto the Radiant Greninja, we're in trouble. We don't really have a way to... Oh, there's a Cypher Maniacs to put stuff onto the top of their library. I'm kind of curious what they put on top. Maybe it's Rare Candy plus Baxcalibur, maybe? Either way, I'm pretty sure they're going to be finding their stuff this turn. Yep, there's the Rare Candy into the Baxcalibur. So part of me wonders, so we are in a lot of trouble if my opponent just goes attach to Radiant Greninja, attack with all three. But I don't think we're at that position just yet. Oh, it looks like we might be. So deals 90 to 2 of my Pokemon. If that happens, we are in serious trouble. But we'll try to still come back from that. I don't know if they're gonna... See, this is one of the problems with playing Rabska that I do not like. Rabska does remove the ability for us to do much else here. So we are going to have to find the Rabska, like, ASAP. So... Hey, there's the Rabska. So we'll play the Rabska. So that is no longer an option for my opponent now, unless they play Canceling Cologne. So our goal is probably going to be Charmander, Pidgey again. And then I am going to... I want to counter catchers something that makes them in a little bit of more of an awkward situation. So let's counter catcher up the Baxcalibur. Not like I'm attacking this turn, but, you know, just in case. And then I'd also like to Iono, right? The reason being is that I don't know what else they have in their hand to do more. And we do have the rare candy for next turn. We also have the Pheasantipity. So let's use the Pheasant... Oh, shoot. Okay, so the problem that we have here is that Grasping Draw makes us draw until we have 7 cards in hand. But you know what? We're going to shuffle some stuff back in to kind of even some stuff out. We'll use our Super Rod super early. Something that, you know, is a little bit more appropriate here. We'll use Flip the Script, see what else we get. We do have another counter catcher, but that is okay. We want to set ourselves up next turn to have a Charizard. So let's get rid of this Buddy Poffin. And I think we need to get rid of this Turos. As much as I like Turos here. And then we will get ourselves a Radiant Charizard. And then just kind of pass the turn. How many cards do I have in hand? I have 5. So, okay, so we'll Cleffa here, Grasping Draw, refilling up our hand, being in, like, a much better spot than before. I'm crossing my fingers here that they don't have, like, Energy Attach, Boss's Orders, KO the Charmander, because then we're going to have to start attacking with stuff that we don't want to attack with. Again, you know, we are very good into aggressive decks. But... you know, stuff like having Luminion here is kind of a pain in the butt for us. I would prefer it to be something else, but, like... Okay, there's Iridia. Iridia's probably getting them a water and an item. Maybe a switch? Maybe, like... I'm trying to think of what item fixes their situation. It's really rough, right? Because, like, a good Charizard player has a general idea of what multiple deck lists do and kind of how to, like, push forward past these situations, you know, and whatnot. Prime Catcher's really rough. For Prime Catcher, I have to give them... Oh my gosh, what do I have to give them here? Nothing's good to give them here. I give them Rabska, right? Oh, no, never mind. I don't give them anything because Prime Catcher is their choice. So they're going to knock out my Pheasantipity. So let's see if they can just simply do the attachments ASAP. Yep, there's the Buddy Poffins. It's real rough for us because we got stuff knocked out, like, super early. So I think our goal is that we're going to evolve Pidgeot. Evolve Charizard. Then we are going to go for Reset Stamp. So we'll rare candy here. Use the Pidgeot to find the other rare candy. Oh, wait, why did they concede? They were in such a good spot. Okay, we start with Pidgey. That is not great. Our hand is not great at all. So my opponent looks like they are playing Teal Mask, which means that they're probably playing Regidrago. No, they're playing just... Are they just playing Teal Mask? Attached to this Pokemon or attached to both? Oh, attached to both active Pokemon. Okay. That is fine. I was not expecting my opponent to be playing like a grass type list. But that is fine too. Interesting. Okay, we got a Buddy Poffin. That gets us out of like a really awkward start. So let's go this into this. Let me check my board. I'm going to attach a Defiance Band onto here just to reduce my hand size, because I would like to draw as many cards as I can off the Cleffa. Part of me is wondering if I use the Forest Sealstone, but I think I'm going to hold it just in case. Again, a lot of my play patterns come from inexperience at playing playing certain cards and whatnot. So we also are in a weird situation here. Oh my gosh, are they playing Sinistea? They are playing Sinistea. Interesting. I wonder if they're playing normal Sinistea or if they're playing Sinistea EX. That'd be very interesting to see if they're playing Sinistea EX. Okay, Teal Dance onto both the Teal Mask Ogerpons. Man, Bug Catching Set is always doing work. If this card, excuse me. If Bug Catching Set did a little bit more, I'd be so hyped to play it. Okay, so I think our play is... Well, okay, now I definitely know what our play is. We are going to go Ultra Ball. I will discard Turos and a Super Rod. I would like to get myself a Pidgeot EX. I would like to Rare Candy into the Pidgeot. And then I am going to Unfair Stamp that they so graciously let me do. Okay. Look, you know what? Mistakes into miracles, everybody. I would like to put out a Bidoof and a Skwovet. And then we're going to Pidgeot. Or, I don't even need to Pidgeot right now. I would like to add a Rare Candy to hand, as well as for my tool card, I think I'm going to grab a TM Evolution. It probably will not come up this game, but I like to have the option. We'll evolve right there. And I'd like to use Infernal Rain. My opponent does not seem happy with my choice, but that's okay. We'll attach 2 to the active, 1 onto the bench. And then I'm going to search now just so I don't have to search later. I will get myself the Charizard to hand just in case. You never know. And then with that, we're going to Burning Darkness for the knockout because now I remember what Defiance Band does. And also, you know, we deal a little bit extra damage there. So we'll take 2 prizes off that guy. We also get our Pheasantipity just in case. Not saying that we'll super need it, but Pheasantipity is still very powerful. I will say this, I was completely wrong on the Pheasantipity. Pheasantipity is showing to be one of the stronger cards in the format. What am I getting pinged about right now? Sorry, folks. Okay, sorry about that. So with that, Teal Mask Ogerpon knocked out my Pokemon. Knocked down my Charizard with just a simple attack, which is perfectly fine, right? We kind of knew that that was going to happen, but we also kind of want to get ready to set ourselves up with another Charizard in a couple seconds here. So I'm going to attach a Fire Energy here just to get started. I'd also like to play a Radiant Charizard here. And now we're going to search getting ourselves a Rare Candy, and then there's no... I don't think it's worth grabbing Arven. It's not really worth using a supporter that much here. I will use Infernal Rain. I'd like to... Oh, we don't have any... Okay, interesting. I think we're good here. I'm just going to Burning Darkness for the knockout. Take our 2 prizes. Go down to 2. Get ourselves kind of set up. I did put a little bit too many things on the bench, so we are kind of restricted, especially because we have no more Fire Energy left in the deck. But that's okay. Another Teal Mask Ogerpon coming down. Oh, Voiddyn. Voiddyn is actually kind of a cool inclusion. So Voiddyn just allows you to do a ton of damage straight up with the Teal Mask Ogerpons. I actually think this deck's kind of sick. I don't know what Sinistea does, though. I haven't gotten to the part where I really know what Sinistea does. I am really looking hardcore for that Super Rod if I didn't actually get rid of both. Did I get rid of both? I got rid of one. Okay. Well, the Radiant Charizard does come out, which is a little bit of a problem for us. But I think we have, like... Oh, no, I got rid of my Turos, didn't I? Okay, so that's a little bit of a problem. So I need a way out of the active. Okay, I need to read what Sinistea EX does. Put 2 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon for each basic grass energy card in the discard pile, then shuffle them into your deck. We have 10, so they get to put 200 damage, or 200 damage. We're kind of stuck, right? We don't really have a good way of going forward. You know what, though? We did just get the Palpad, and Palpad does get us Turo and Arven. We don't have the ability to grab anything else. So let's use Pidgeot. Quick search, getting us the Turo. Right, we go Turo to hand. Bring up Radiant. And then I'm going to bring this fella up. Now, I need to be really careful because I don't want to get into a position where I, like, really mess myself up. Because it is my game to lose here. So we'll Burning Darkness for another prize. We have Radiant Charizard in hand. We just need another Fire Energy, which might be a little rough. Which, I mean, look, to be fair, though, we could probably get something. So there's 2 on the active, which means this, my last prize is probably a Fire Energy. Let's be really honest. Okay, what does this Sinistea do? Put 4 discard up to 3 energy, grass energy from your Pokemon. It deals 70 damage. Okay, so it does get that does get a knockout. All the stuff does get knockouts on Charizard, which is kind of rough, right? But we do only have 1 prize card left, which means that if they put anything out that just folds to Pidgeot, we are okay. Are both bosses? No. Huh, okay. Well, my opponent does get 2 prize cards off that. So we can Luminions for... Okay, cool. I have my out. My out is to simply get a boss's orders off Luminion. Right? We'll get the boss's orders. Let us Pheasantipity first. Right? We'll evolve here... I need to check the deck before I do anything else, right? Because I have to make sure that I have enough stuff, right? So let's check what we have here. Do we have the double colorless? We have the double colorless, so we are good. So the Pokemon I will grab is the Radiant Charizard, but like not like that really matters. So let's bosses up the 70 HP Pokemon. We will use the Pidgeot to grab ourselves the double colorless. And then with that, I'm a dummy. I think I messed up, folks. Oh, no. Why did I do this? Nest stash. Come on. Get myself. Guys, I just threw for a second time. This is my Temple of Sinnoh. I really messed up here. Oops. Rescue board on the Sinistry. Okay, when this comes up, it does 40. I don't know if we're going to get the knockout here, or if they're going to get the knockout here, but, like, man, I can't believe I just threw that hard, guys. I literally just had it, if I did anything else. Yep. Yep. They got it. That's the GG's to my opponent. And I can't believe that I just threw 2 out of the 4 games we played tonight. The first one doesn't really count. So that just proves that no matter what type of player you are, you can always throw a game. Sometimes you can throw multiple games in a row. So let's talk about Tord's list. Let's talk about what I like about it and what I dislike about it. I like the consistency. I like the 2-1-2 lines, even though they're not as prevalent as before. TMD evolution does really mess you up. Along with that, I really like the Squovit because it allows you to tuck stuff onto the bottom of your deck. Pheasantipity really did come in handy in a lot of cases that I thought it wouldn't. Having the 70 HP Bidoof didn't really matter as much because we didn't see any Regidrago, but it probably would in the long run. Seeing Defiance Band, now that I know what the card does and I actually know how to read, it's a little bit better. Canceling Cologne doesn't really matter in the matchups that we've had. TM Evolution's there for better startups. Honestly, I could see myself using it a lot more if I had that stuff. But honestly, a lot of this is learning experience and knowing that, like, you know, this form of Zard has a little bit of a higher curve than before. So I'm going to publish the L's and just take it as is on the chin. Overall, Tord's deck is very fun. There's a lot of stuff to do and, like, you know, a lot of techs out there to, like, really, really perform strong here. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching today. Next week, we will talk about another deck that came out of Worlds. There's an idea of me possibly doing Miraidon, me possibly doing... I don't know. We'll see what else is there. But, you know, this video has very much been a crash and burn type situation, but we're going to publish it anyway. Guys, thank you so much for coming out today. I will see you guys next week for the next video.